and what that equates to is a sports car that defies the expectations you might have for something with a three-pointed star and the sort of admirable proportions that contributed to its SLS predecessor being an occasionally unruly and vengeful driving companion. It is particularly and impressively balanced, with the 4.0-liter V8 residing well behind the front axle, the carbon-festooned engine cover signed by Gunter von Hommeverschmidt and AF Ultrabach only covers a pair of coolant tanks. Sure, it can be a little difficult to place that long hood into tight corners at times, but dynamically, the GTC was equal parts capable and poised on the driving route's brief stretches of central Arizona winding road. As viciously fast as it is, never did it feel unruly. The steering is also sublime, differing in ratio and calibration from the lower GTs, and combining with the rear wheels that tow in up to 1.5 degrees. Although there are different settings, they pleasantly aren't that different from each other in terms of their exceptional feedback and consistent, friction-free effort at speed. It's incredibly easy to be smooth and establish a rhythm driving this car. The clearest difference between the modes seemed to be on a highway where comfort possesses more slack on center to make things less nervous and fatigue-inducing. You might even say more comfortable. The steering of the AMG GT Roadster, which we also drove, is further relaxed and ultimately not quite as sharp nor rewarding. Its ride quality is another story, however. Despite both cars being equipped with a continuously variable adaptive suspension, optional on the GT, their tuning is different and it's just enough to make the supposedly lesser car the more pleasant choice for grandly touring. The GTC doesn't exactly beat you up and the GT is far from plush, but given that both include firmer Sport and Sport Plus settings, it would be nice if the seat provided more comfort in comfort. So there would certainly be no complaints from this table if AMG let you order the GT suspension with the GTC's engine, which packs 550 horsepower and 502 pound-feet of torque. That compares respectively to 469 and 465 for the GT, 515 and 494 for the GTS, and 577 and 516 for the GTR. This is where that viciousness comes in, and not in a non-linear, jacking up the boost sort of turbocharged way. It's an omnipresent ferocity, an engine that's impressively responsive throughout its rev range and perfectly natural in its ability to pin you into the hard AMG performance seats. The accompanying soundtrack is sweetly mechanical and addicting, encouraging you to downshift early and often to let it sing to its handcrafted heart's content. Rocketing forth in the opposite direction up the gearbox brings in the talents of the standard AMG performance exhaust, complete with loud and extra loud modes. Its song is spot on, being just enthusiastic enough to make your toes tingle but not so obnoxious to draw complaints from the hoa. The snaps, crackles, and pops it produces when off throttle are also of the more subtle, natural variety than the rather contrived, farty efforts found in an increasing number of cars.